Hi, everyone. On this episode of the Mortgage Message Show, we're going to be talking about heating and cooling tips for the fall. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Mortgage Message Show. My name is Joe LaGiglia, and I'm joined today with my guest, Dan LaGiglia of DL Comfort Control. Dan, how are you?
Good, Joe. How are you?
Doing so good. I want to tell the audience this is a real special show for me. As you heard in the introduction, Dan is a family member of mine, a cousin of mine, and he has been servicing so much of my HVAC and all of my friends' HVACs for so long. Had to have him on the show. So, Dan, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So it's kind of a fall season series that we're doing here with the Mortgage Message Show, and through that, one of the biggest calls I get from people who I put into homes is when there's an HVAC issue, furnace, air conditioning, everything in between. You've been so helpful for so many years, helping service so much clients of mine. I wanted to highlight this because it's just continuing seasonality to be an issue. I want to start the interview by saying, talk about DL Comfort Control. Where did that company start? How did it start? And where is it today?
So that's actually how it did start, off of complete referrals. We don't advertise, we don't do anything, just straight up customer referrals. We've been incorporated since 2009. Originally, the business plan was, it was actually during the recession. We had a lot of foreclosures. We had a connection to do a lot of work for a few banks, so we incorporated. And our original business was that. And then just from regular word-of-mouth business, it expanded from there.
Now, is this an industry that you've been a part of before the recession, before that influx of business? Was this an industry you were connected to?
It was. I always kind of did it, for extra money, side work, and then I saw an opportunity back then to capitalize on the market, and it kind of worked out.
What's so great about working with you and having you as a referral source is this is one of those industries where people are inviting someone into their home about a item or service in their home that really they don't have any idea about.
Yeah.
Whether it's from a cost approach, they don't have any idea. Whether it's from a problem approach, they don't have any idea. And so, such an integrity-based company that you run, what's like one of the top few items that you see that our audience can forecast that they have coming up this fall?
The basic maintenance, seasonal maintenance is the biggest thing you want to attack. We've had numerous customers call us just in the last few weeks because the temperature is supposed to drop. And basically what you're doing is you're going through the system, running through its cycle, and just kind of looking for things that you could fix preemptively instead of doing it when it's 10 below zero. So to have a service company come out before the season or close to the season is usually advantageous.
One of the things you've always shared with me, which I'm chuckling as I'm thinking about, is anytime I've called you, the first thing you've said to me is, "Joe, did you check the filter?" Yeah.
Especially nowadays, you have all these real high efficiency filters, and you have all the virus filters. All those things are great, but what people don't realize is they get dirtier way faster than just a standard filter. So if you're running a high MERV filter, you really need to check it monthly, especially if you got pets. Once you get a handle on how long the filter's lasting, you have to regularly change it.
Yeah.
That's what actually taxes the equipment in the summer and the winter.
So speaking of the change of the seasons, I know that we're still in just an incredible seller's market right now. And with that being said, a lot of times a home inspection is done after someone goes to contract. Yeah. I want to talk about being proactive to issues that could come up. What's some of the things a seller can do prior to knowing that they're going to list their home, that they can put themselves in a great position to sell that home with no issues on the HVAC side of things?
Yeah, so usually the way the process works, you get a contract, the buyer wants a home inspection, home inspector comes out, they mark up everything on the book because it's a negotiating thing. It's a negotiating chip for them to say, we want this fixed, or just give us $10,000 or $20,000 off the property. So again, to get ahead of all that, you want to call a contractor that you trust and have them come out, certify the furnace, do a fossil fuel report on it, and then you could have that. You could stick it right to the furnace. You could give it to the home inspector beforehand and say, hey, we already had it inspected. It'll save you thousands of dollars, because 9 times out of 10, if the furnace or AC is over 10 years old, they're going to want something off for it. You know, even if it's prorated, it's still thousands of dollars.
Yeah. On the buy side of things, you have a first-time home buyer. There's such a huge market of first-time home buyers where this is the first time, and I know you see it in your business, this is the first time they've ever had to deal with a furnace. It's the first time they ever even knew that they had to deal with a furnace. What's some of the items that a first-time home buyer can either look for or be in preparation of through the season changes to make sure that they don't get hit right off the bat of buying that first house, the honeymoon stage of having that house, that they can make sure that they're doing what they should be doing?
Sure, they want to ask the seller for any previous receipts, the original warranty paperwork, the original installation guide, all that stuff kind of helps. Or again, they could during the attorney review period, they could probably get someone in there and just check it out, before they even close on the place.
That's great. So I know that just servicing my home specifically, we always have a good chuckle as far as stuff being here or being there, or you finding something. What's like a unique story as an HVAC guy? What's something unique you could share that through your trials and tribulations that you could share with the audience?
Yeah, I mean, there's some pretty bad ones, and there's some pretty just people aren't paying attention. So numerous times we've had people call, and these aren't homeowners. Okay, so we deal with contractors and homeowners. The one time we had a contractor call, he had a flip house in Frankfurt. He calls, it's 10 degrees out. He's like, you guys got to get out there. The house is going to freeze. The pipes are going to freeze, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's 9:30 at night. Send someone out. They get out there. They stop, they look, and the gas valve was shut off. And what happened was the home inspector came through the house, and they shut the breakers off. They turned the gas valves off, make sure they're functioning, and they left it off.
Wow.
But it's funny because you got this guy that pretty much can build a house, and he can't even check the gas valves. Just minor things like that. Other things are just light switches are off, just basic stuff.
Well, and that's a great story, a great testimony for someone to not feel insecure about reaching out when here's a contractor who didn't even notice.
That's the thing. You want someone that you're comfortable with, especially during the home buying process. That's going to be on your side.
So that's a great segue to ask the question. Very much like mortgage brokers, there's a HVAC guy in every corner, right? Obviously, not just being family, not just being someone that you've serviced every single home I've ever owned, but someone that I know brings such an added value to their client base. What would you say DL Comfort Control brings to the HVAC service that's different than the market?
I would say on a homeowner's scale, we're flat rate. So just from house to house, we're usually within 5 to 10% of our installation price, whether it be furnace, AC, humidifiers, air quality control products. They're pretty flat. A lot of these companies have sales reps that come in before a tech even shows up, and they sell them to the high moons. So we're not that kind of company. We're very honest. Like I said, but we're referral based. So all that is, it compounds into more business for us. So we try to keep things flat, simple. On the contractor side, we do a lot of things that other companies won't do. Like, we have some customers that have flips and rehabs and rental properties, and they don't want things stolen because the house is vacant. We'll wait, we'll get 90% of the system in, and we'll wait to install the outdoor connector at no extra charge. So we do stuff like that. As far as closings go, we do the fossil fuel checks for them, and just basic stuff for attorneys as far as providing paperwork and stuff like that.
So great. Such a competitive advantage. I think I know the answer to this, but for the audience's purpose, if someone has an issue, a concern, something that they just think, man, I've been putting this off, I better find out about it. Maybe they just watched this episode and thought it's a good time to get a fall maintenance check. Do you offer the opportunity to at least have, I guess, what you would call a pre-consultation?
Oh yeah, we do. So we do free estimates on any installation of any product. Service is a flat rate. We're located in Lockport, so anything within 10 miles is $69 an hour. Anything over, which we'll basically do between 40 miles outside of the Lockport area, it's $79. So that's a very competitive price. If someone wanted to call for service, It'd be 815-600-6237 is our business line. They can call. I'll either be answering the phone or Katie will be answering the phone.
Yeah, and to your point, for the peace of mind based off of that price schedule, you can't pay enough for the peace of mind knowing going into the season you're good.
Right. Yeah. It's unsaid. You need to get the stuff checked out. Otherwise, you're going to be a sitting duck in the middle of winter or 90-degree weather and stuff.
And if you've taught me anything from all the visits, it's saying, Joe, be proactive, not reactive. Yes. I don't want to be the 9:30 visit.
Yeah.
Dan, it's so encouraging to have this information put out to our audience. It's so encouraging to serve them in this way, to give them the information that can make their home more sound. If someone saw this episode and has something they want to reach out to you about, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, that phone number, 815-600-6237 is our business line, or you can text. My cell is 708-307-1860. You can email us at dlcomfort48@gmail.com.
Awesome. Dan, it's such a pleasure having you on the show. I know you're going to service so many people through this and just continue being the integrity professional you are in this field. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Thank you to our audience for tuning in today. Be sure to share this with all your networks that will find a ton of value through this conversation. And thank you to Uptown Tap and Eatery, located in downtown Plainfield, for allowing us to host the show here today. Make sure to support local, everyone. We'll see you next week.